Hey everyone, thank you so much for joining me. Welcome to my channel, Mental Training with Mez. I am your mental fitness trainer here on social media. And one of the things I wanted to incorporate this year was just kind of sharing some insights that I've gained through implementation of the knowledge that I've acquired, but also just things that I can see is true in life. You know, if you're observing life and you're paying attention to the patterns and the, nature of things, you'll come to the conclusion that there are certain aspects of life that stand out that make it a little easier for us to understand life. And the more we understand life, the easier it is for us to handle and navigate it. And so, bless you, baby.
Thank you.
I wanted to create a series, which is called the 5 series, which is basically just my sharing what I've learned in 5 simple steps, forms, types, training, just different ways, but I'm keeping it simple, reducing it down to 5. So today we're going to talk about the 5 universal gifts that God has given each and every one of us. And so just ask yourself, how many times have you heard we each have that one unique gift? And if we could just figure out what it is and then make it better, we can use that in the world. Well, I know for me, I've always struggled with that answer. Like I've never really, and even to this day, they, to be fair and honest, they do tell us, I've heard that, ask people that are close to you, what do they think your unique qualities are? So there are ways to figure out that one thing, but I've always found it difficult to do just for myself. And it's not to say I have so many gifts. It's just to say, like, I'm not really sure what would be considered a gift, And so I just always struggled with it. And upon my quest of trying to figure out like what my gifts are, asking people what they would say my gifts are, I've come to the conclusion just from sitting in meditation and prayer that we are all actually given 5 universal gifts. And these gifts are actually enough. If we just know about these gifts within ourselves, then eventually that one unique quality may stand out to you, but if it shouldn't, it won't even matter because these gifts are so all encompassing when it comes to our personality, it comes to our authenticity. So it actually benefits us to know about these gifts. And so I want to share them with you today. And then, do with this knowledge as you will. I know for me, it just makes it a little easier to trust the breath, to trust God in the moment, because I now know what my gifts are. And I use certain, especially unexpected moments or events to challenge myself on these gifts to see if they are actually as universal or if they are gifts. And I have found they are gifts of the moment. They are things that it sort of helps to have as leverage, So let's just jump right into it. Okay, so it is called the 5 universal gifts, and you can use these gifts to either heal the body temple or create. And so I want to share with you in both aspects how you can use it to heal and how you can use it to create. Again, this is based on the principles of faith. In order to come into understanding these gifts, you have to take a leap of faith. You do have to trust God. And then in the moment, try to utilize these gifts and then see how they work in the moment. And that's what I've done. And that's how I found that they work. Okay, that these gifts are gifts and they do actually empower us and provide just a whole new way of being from our willingness to use them. So the first universal gift that we all have, we all can use when it comes to healing or creating is divine creativity. So creativity is our ability and capacity to conjure up an idea that is a suitable solution for the moment in that moment. So that's what divine creativity is. I know I said creativity, but divine creativity is when you can come up with an idea that is a suitable solution for the moment in that moment. So when we're thinking of creativity, we are thinking of creation in action. So when you're trying to be creative, it's usually because there's something being asked of you in the moment. You either need to be someone in that moment, you need to do something in that moment, or you need to have something in that moment. And being divinely creative basically lets us know that we have the ability to meet that problem with a solution. It's one of my, constant messages on my channel before we get into our mental workouts is to remind us that a healthy mind is naturally solution oriented and creative. And so when we are healthy mentally, should a moment present itself where we need to be something, like we need to be caring, or we need to be accountable, or we need to be responsible, we need to be a friend, we need to be, you know, um, disciplined, we need to be, courageous, whatever that moment should ask of us. If we know that our mind is naturally attuned to be what it needs to be in that moment, and to be able to know that that is the solution for that moment, is extremely helpful to us. Because one of the aspects about trusting God is that you have to be okay moment to moment to moment. But sometimes we struggle to trust God because we come to the realization that we're not always okay moment to moment to moment. So that's why you want to have a healthy mind that is always paying attention to God, because so long as you're paying attention to God, you're prepared to be divinely creative in the moment. And so you give yourself permission to just relax, to just enjoy the moment, because you're paying attention to it. So that's another thing that I share. When you're paying attention to the breath, you are paying attention to life. You're paying attention to God. They're both the same thing. You can use them interchangeably in terms of the verbiage. God and life mean the same thing. And when we're paying attention to the breath, we are in essence paying attention to God. This allows us to be attentive to the moment, but because we're paying attention to God and the mind is aware of its ability to be solution oriented and creative, we don't need to be stressed. So we can be relaxed. And that's a universal gift that we all have. When it comes to healing, the way this would help us is to, how can I go about figuring what do I need to do to heal myself? And if you have a mind that is designed to be solution oriented, capable of conjuring up an idea that is suitable, that is a suitable solution for the moment, that is what you need when we are in search of healing. If you've been told that you have anything terminal, anything acute, anything, chronic, it helps you to know that your mind in its natural healthy state is houses the gift of being creative, and so this doesn't mean like, this is not a naive or immature way of looking at this gift. Yes, modern technology has allowed medicine to progress, and we are able to do things with chemicals and plants that we weren't able to do many, many years ago. But that doesn't necessarily mean that you are getting to the root cause of what created the illness, of what created the chronic or acute pain or disease that we're dealing with. When you are divinely creative, you are always going to be dealing with the solution at the root. So that suitable solution, that idea that is a suitable solution for whatever it is that needs to be dealt with in the moment, is going to address the root cause of what created the disease or the sickness. But you do have to have a healthy mind in order to allow the mind to be that creative, to that level, to that degree that it can go to the root cause of the disease. And so what does that mean? You have to have a healthy mind. It has to be disciplined. And so that's why on this channel, we practice faith-based mental training. This is a way of learning to be disciplined mentally by focusing on God, which is the source that will provide a suitable solution. So if you learn to just stay focused on the breath, you have to trust in the moment that the idea that can help you to figure out, what do I need to do? Where do I need to go? What do I need to use? How can I use it? that's where you're going to get it. We are divinely creative in that sense when it comes to healing. When it comes to creating, take your pick. If you are dealing with financial issues, relationship issues, um, business issues, entrepreneurship, or just wanting to get promoted at whatever position or industry or field you're in, then it helps you to know that you have the gift of creativity. You can figure out a suitable solution that would help you to begin to take the necessary steps that you would need to take, because the idea would come to you, oh, this is what I need to do. Because again, it's going to address what created the financial issues, what created the relationship issues, what created the physical issues, what created the creative blockages. It'll go to the root, and then the idea that comes from that is what would be a suitable solution. So, but again, you have to learn to be disciplined. You have to be willing to just sit still. It does require our willingness to take a moment and be quiet. If we're always talking in our mind, or we're always engaged in some doing activity, then it's difficult to really use this gift of divine creativity. But it is a universal gift, and we all have it, and we all should recognize that we have it so that we can begin to use it. And so to use this gift, you have to learn to stay focused on divinity, because again, you want divinely creative ideas that are not going to be limited or bound by man-made limitations, bound by what people, you don't want your idea to be limited because people think it is or isn't possible. You want your idea to be outside of the realm of mankind limitation. So that's why paying attention to God, knowing that that's the source where you're getting your idea from, naturally allows you not to be not to be susceptible to people's limitations. That's the first universal gift. The second universal gift is divine wisdom. And this is knowledge that has been consciously acquired and then applied and proves to be beneficial in the moment. So divine wisdom is you coming into information, applying that information, and then finding out that the result of you applying that information benefits you. That's wisdom, because you see that, okay, I have been told that focusing on the breath is going to allow me to enhance my intuitive qualities. So then you're going to take this information of being told that, and in the moment, you're going to focus on your breathing, and you're going to wait for an opportunity to trust the breath in the moment. And that's one of the highest virtues, is patience. Most of us, first, we struggle to maintain focus and concentration on the breath, but then we're also not patient enough. And we also have survival habits. So sometimes the way we're challenged, the way God chooses to challenge us in the moment, forces us to automatically go into survival mode. And so rather than trust the breath in the moment, you do what you normally would do when presented with an unexpected situation. You go right to fear and you react the way you would react however many times you've done it. So the wisdom you hold to respond to things that are unexpected is wisdom that you've come across through the many times you've done it that way. Now you're being told that, hey, if you focus on the breath, when something unexpected happens, you're going to know what to do in the moment if you trust the breath in the moment. If you're willing to just breathe through what you're feeling, breathe through what you're seeing, and then trust your steps. You take that information, you go into your day-to-day activities, into your life, and then you wait for the moment to apply it. And then that's when that moment comes and you apply it and you notice, you know what? I was able to maintain stability. Like, I didn't feel overwhelmed by this moment. I didn't feel overly stimulated, like I needed to just react. I was actually able to maintain calm, to maintain my cool, even though I was feeling whatever I was feeling, but I was able to handle that. And then that knowledge, that the result of you coming into that says, I'm going to try it again next time. Because we are skeptical. That's the human aspect of us. We're kind of like pessimistic. We're kind of like, I don't know. Are you being honest? Like, is this true? Which is healthy. You do have to have a healthy level of pessimism, of like guard. You do. It's okay. That's the human aspect of us, and it's perfectly normal. But you do also have to give yourself an opportunity to challenge that belief as well, that way of being. Because yes, it's good to be a little pessimistic, a little on guard, but you don't want to be so that you are missing opportunities to really use this gift of wisdom, because knowing what to do in the moment is why we're here in terms of your lineage. If your ancestors were not trusting in their divine wisdom, not the wisdom that the other people were telling them in other tribes, I mean, they didn't even have that yet. Like before tribes started interacting with each other, there was still like, hey, this is our hub. We're going to learn to master our community, our tribe. And so if they were utilizing internal wisdom, they were somehow so attuned to their environment that they knew we shouldn't eat that, or they knew that we shouldn't go over there, or we shouldn't pass a certain level, or you know what I mean? Like they just knew in the moment what to do because they were connected to something more divine, more powerful than they were. And they respected that. They respected that there was an aspect to life that had a little bit more power than they did. I'm sorry, guys. Hold on. Go away. Sorry, guys. I keep forgetting to put my phone in airplane mode. So unprofessional.
Why don't you put your phone on? Why do you need to put your phone
Airplane mode so that I could not be distracted or disturbed by the vibrations that come through when phone calls come in. So this gift allows us to know what to do in the moment, and the results from it showing how beneficial it is to know what to do in the moment. You're using it over and over till you get to a point where now you just function like this, which is what faith is. When you are consistently trusting God, trusting God, trusting God, you're staying focused on God, you're trusting God, trusting God, you no longer are thinking. Now you are literally intuitively moving. And people, it might sound like, oh, you can't really function in this world without thinking. You're just not thinking in that way. Of course, you do need to think, but thinking in terms of faith means going to the source where I can know the answer. That's what thinking would be. If I need to think of something, be creative, I need to know where I can go to get the answer to whatever is posing as a problem or a question for me. If I don't know where to go, then I'm not really thinking. I'm really scanning my brain for a memory of a past experience in which something like this happened and how did I deal with it. So you're learning to respond or react to life from past memories when you're not always obedient to paying attention to God. Because if you're always paying attention to God, you don't need to access past memories. You can literally just be in the moment, enjoying yourself, and then if something unexpected happens, you go to your breath, you take that quick second, that quick moment to center yourself, and then just trust whatever movements you make in that moment. You might need to take off running. You might need to duck. You might need to sit and stay calm. You might need to tune into what is being said. You might need to look around and see what is actually happening. Because I know in my experience, there has been times where I feel a rush of fear and I look around and nothing's happening. And it's because I was in my mind and I wasn't even aware. I was not aware that I had allowed myself to be distracted by my own thoughts. And when you are not mentally disciplined, you can scare yourself, which a lot of us are walking around with worlds we have created in our imagination. And we're not even really living in the world we're in, which is a world that is designed to help us be mentally stronger, mentally healthier. But we're not using life for that. We're actually using life to get through life, to figure out, how to protect ourselves in it. And life is basically saying, hey, there's a healthier way to go about this. God is giving you the gift of wisdom. And so if you are willing to take information and process it and digest it and ask yourself, is this information something that can benefit me or not? Because if someone tells you, hey, you have the ability to know what to do in the moment if you trust the breath, which is God, in the moment, you'll know what to do. I shouldn't just dismiss that. That is a gift. That is unique. And it's unique to human beings because our brain capacity has the ability to process information. And so that's a universal gift. Guess what you can do with that when it comes to healing? It means that you can step out of any man-made limitation on what is or isn't possible. That's why the law of faith states in God, anything is possible. And so you want to be in God when you encounter a health crisis that requires a solution that mankind is afraid they don't have yet, or they're afraid they're not prepared to produce yet, or to implement, or to present. You want to know, wait, God has given us the gift of divine wisdom. And if I trust God in this moment, and I trust maybe I need to drink this herb, or maybe I need to brew up this concoction for this type of illness, and come up with this remedy for this type of ailment that I'm dealing with, then that's what divine wisdom is. It's basically our willingness to trust God in the moment, and to trust that whatever you're doing, you're actually being led to do it because you're maintaining concentration on God. And that is what's allowing you to inevitably provide a solution to whatever it is you need to heal. That's how divine wisdom helps you. That's how that gift can help us when it comes to healing. When it comes to creating, we all know what it is we want in life. We do. We know we want to be healthy, right? No one wants to be unhealthy in life. And healthy just means the ability to do things. Like, I want to be healthy enough to do things. Um, I want to be healthy enough to be whoever I need to be in the moment. I'm a mother, I'm a wife, I'm a trainer, I'm a stranger, I'm a friend. I want to be healthy enough to play those roles and not be attached to them. So I want to be able to be who I need to be and then relax. We want to be healthy enough to have things. What good is money if you're not healthy enough to have it? And one of the things Myron Golden always says, he's a great spiritual teacher on business, is that money doesn't make you a bad person. You had to have already been a bad person, and then having money just amplifies that. So if you are a good person, having money or more of it doesn't turn you bad. It makes you and gives you the ability to be even better, to spread your kindness and your compassion even more. So I just love that aspect of it. So having divine wisdom is having knowledge about life. And when you can acquire knowledge about life, you're just going to be able to be happier in it instead of being some miserable, mean person all the time. And you are going to have your moments, but divine wisdom comes with the level of compassion that you forgive yourself. You know that it was you not paying attention in the moment that allowed you to be mean, or to be hurtful, or to be, ignorant to what is actually happening. And so you want to develop mental discipline for just that reason, to avoid that. And the more you are mentally disciplined, the less likely you are to be ignorant, to be mean, to be unkind. Wisdom, the wisdom comes with a level of um, health and wealth and contentment that is immeasurable. You cannot actually place a price on how lucrative it is to have wisdom, because this is literally knowledge that you're acquiring and applying, and the feedback is what's building that momentum on it. And it's a gift. It's a gift, and we got to be thankful that we all have it. All right, so the third universal gift is divine influence. And this is what gives you the power to have what you want in life. So in my own experience, I tell myself, okay, Meslin, if you're struggling to manifest anything, it's only because you haven't really settled into your first gift, the gift of creativity. You haven't really settled into your gift of wisdom, meaning you're not giving yourself enough experience of trusting God. So you need to do that a little more, because divine influence basically means I am giving something of value, so much so that I know I should be provided for it. I know I should be paid for it. I know I should be protected for it. So when you have divine influence, it's because it's a win-win moment. It's a win-win substance. So this universal gift basically allows us to create things, which is what creativity, right? This divine influence allows us to create things and to have confidence in what we're creating, because we will always create something of value because of this gift of divine influence. I I'm creating a mental gym on social media because of its value. I know how important it is for us to get a mental workout in, for us not to just be on this platform, just scrolling away, taking a moment to let our mind rest, to have it rest in a very developmental way. So while your mind is resting, it's actually getting stronger. And knowing that as it's resting in a developmental way, it's basically coming into these gifts. It's activating and recognizing that we have these universal gifts, and you begin to use it. You begin to use it and produce it and create it and package it and brand it and present it. And you have the right, the power, the gift to compel others to want it, to see the value in it, to try it, to trust you with it, you know? And so divine influence comes with a goodness. It comes with a trustworthiness. So you're not influencing people to hurt, harm themselves when you are connected to the breath, when you're connected to God, when you're trusting God. You are influencing, because this is a gift, to compel people to buy something from you so that they pay you, to compel people to give something to you so that they're providing for you, to compel people to be testimonials, to actually go out and spread or offer what you are offering because they want to protect you and they see the value in what you're offering. That comes from goodness. People don't do that just because you're being, like, they would never do it if you're being mean, if there is some type of ill intention or, an agenda, a form of manipulation lurking. They would only do it because you are connected to divinity itself. And so whatever it is you're offering, it's felt. Not only do they see it, but they feel it. Like, yeah, this is a space when I actually come to get my mental workout in, I feel better when I leave. This is a space that I look forward to coming into. This is a channel that when you get your mental workout in, you do feel more creative. You do feel like you're gaining more insights and knowledge about life. You do feel like you can go create that business, go create that body temple that you want, go envision that husband or wife that you want, have those kids or don't have them. It's up to you. Like, you do feel like, that's what I want. I want when you walk out of this gym that you feel revitalized, you feel invigorated, you feel replenished. And so that comes from goodness. It comes from a source that is feeding that into me. Therefore, I put that and I package that into this channel. And so that's a universal gift, guys. you can use divine influence. That's what the placebo pill is when it comes to healing. You know, the research that shows when someone is told, hey, this pill, even though it's a sugar pill, when they're told this pill has the ingredients to heal you, to cure you, and they give it to that person, they put their influence into that pill. And so if that person trusts the person that is saying it, if they have trust in the pill and they have trust in what is being said, they can compel themselves to heal. That's what the placebo effect is someone that is being divinely influenced, literally being told that they can do something for their good. So your divine influence will never come from a source of evil. It'll never come from a source of ill will. And you'll know that it doesn't because everyone wins. So that's how you can tell that it is divinely influenced. Whatever that business is, that product is, that service is, you'll know that it's divine because everyone wins. We all benefit from using this gift. So creating a mental fitness gym, I win, right? The subscribers, the testimonials, the purchasing of whatever I offer, if I ever do offer, well, the mental training sessions. So, knowing that every day in every way, I am being paid, being provided for, being protected for simply being myself. That stems from divine influence. That's a gift that you have to use, and you use it by making sure everyone wins whatever it is you're offering. So that's a universal gift we all have. We all have the ability to compel others, the world, nature, to pay us, to provide for us, to protect us. We have that influence because what you're giving someone in return for what you're asking is equivalent in value. They get the very thing that you're offering, that you're getting from them, they get it too. The fourth universal gift is divine uniqueness. This is one of my favorite gifts. Divine uniqueness means I never have to be in competition with anyone else. There can be 20 other women sitting on social media, preaching the very same thing that I'm preaching, sharing the very same meditations, mental fitness training, whatever you want to call it, that I am. But I get to use this gift of divine uniqueness. I get to be myself. That's the only way that you can amplify your uniqueness, is to really illuminate your authenticity. So that's why I always present myself as a mental fitness trainer, even though I only have 55 clients. 55 clients is a lot of clients for someone who started literally with zero in a space where there are millions and millions or billions of us. So if you can have 55 anything, just being yourself, that is divinity in action. And it gives me a level of confidence and a level of trust that allows me to settle into my gifts. So I get to see the many ways I get to be creative on this platform. I can be creative in the world. I can be creative in my life. And so it's a gift that we don't leverage enough. We need to leverage the fact that there's only one you. There is only one you. In a world of 8 billion plus people, there is only one you. There is only one you that talks that way. There is only one you that walks that way. There is only one you that expresses yourself that way, that dresses the way you dress, that carries themselves the way you carry yourself, that holds themselves to the level that you hold yourself. Only one you. So even if there were 3 books with the same title, the beauty about religion, what religion teaches us in this world, is that there is a type of religion for every personality. There is. Not all of us are intended to be Catholics. Not all of us are intended to be Christians. Not all of us are intended to be Muslims. Not all of us are intended to be Buddhists. There's a reason why we have so many different paths to God. And that's because we are all unique and we all have unique personalities. And so I have a personality that is very strong. Discipline is the only way to control me. So I do have to have a lifestyle of discipline. And so that's how I knew the law of faith was a law for me, because it basically required that I become mentally disciplined. Once I became mentally disciplined, I realized that I do need to rein myself in, that I am sometimes overly emotional, that I do overreact, that I do have so many ideas. I do need to discipline myself. I want and need and desire, and I need to have discipline. And so once I realized that was my personality, I just started learning from coaches and teachers who spoke that type of language, who understood, yes, you're going to have to make some sacrifices. You're going to have to get regimented. The people that speak like that, uh, like stoicness was more attractive to me than the compassionate ones, the ones that understand that people do need a little gentle nudge. Like, not all of us need to hear, this is what you need to do. Some of us do need to hear, you have been through a lot. You do deserve to, take your time. I'm not that personality. So, divine uniqueness is a universal gift, and some people use it and some people don't, but it's a gift that we should all master, because it's a gift that allows us to be ourselves and to harness divine influence. So you get to be paid, you get to be provided for, you get to be protected for simply being yourself, so that no matter what it is you create, you have the wisdom to know how to bring it into the world, how to package it, how to brand it, how to make sure it's a win-win. You'll never create something that is not a win-win once you harness these universal gifts. It's the best feeling in the world. The last one is divine alliance. We all get to have God on our side. We get to know that we are walking unified in communion with God. And so that means I don't have to be afraid, and I don't have to believe that there's not enough to go around. Sorry, guys, hold on. We're almost done, though. We're almost done. So you don't have to believe that there's not enough and that there's lack, like you don't have to be afraid, and you don't have to believe that there's not enough. Divine alliance means that we all have the gift of trusting God and being obedient to God. To be in alignment, in alliance with divinity, we have to be willing to be focused, embody the fact that God is in control. So you have to embody that knowledge. If God is in control, then that means I need to chill. I need to be relaxed. I need to maintain an inner poise, an inner resolve, because why would I represent God by being scared and afraid and expressing that fear and then projecting that onto people? If a religion induces fear inside of you, it's not being taught properly, because that's not the purpose of religion. The purpose of religion is for us to create a regimen to which we can implement every day, and that keeps us in alliance with God. That's a religious practice. That's what religion is supposed to do. It's supposed to keep us in alliance with God. If it creates division in the world, then it's not keeping you in alliance with God, because God literally created these religions for the personalities, not for the division of personalities, but for everyone to say, I'm going to go down this path, because all paths lead to God anyway. But this is the universal gift that allows you to commune with the mastermind. And in the book, Think and Grow Rich, you're taught to have a mastermind. But people translate that as get in a group of friends and or get a group of people who have the same vision, the same idea as you, and that's considered your mastermind. They're willing to do their part, you're willing to do your part for the vision, for the fulfillment of that vision, to bring it to fruition. Do it first with God. first commune with God, first come into the mental alignment with divinity, which is a pure mind. Divinity's mind, God's mind, is pure. It doesn't harbor any judgment, any bias, any prejudice, any inkling of division or separation. So whatever idea you're coming up with, whatever life you intend to lead, you have to do it from love. You have to do it from inclusivity, because if you do it from that way, you will never be lacking, you will never be in fear. And so it's one of the most brilliant gifts that we have. But to use it, you got to learn to stay focused on divinity. That's why I teach faith based mental training on this channel. It is so when you come into information like this, where you have 5 universal gifts, gifts that can help you be creative, gifts that can help you know exactly what you need to do with the ideas that you come up with, gifts that help you to compel others to come on board, to join you, to um, uh, provide and pay you and protect you for that creative idea that you're bringing to um, the masses, gifts that help you to ensure that you are doing it as yourself. I had to look down to see gifts that ensure that you're doing it as you. So you never have to pretend to be someone that you're not. You get to be you while being you. And it's such a liberating feeling. There's emotional freedom in that. So, and then lastly, you get to make sure that you're doing it harmonious. The universal gift of divine alliance allows us to be harmonious, no limitation, no restriction, graceful in our experience and living of life. So when it comes to healing, trust that there's nothing impossible to God. Align yourself with the mastermind, with God. Stay pure. Don't believe that something is impossible. And if you do feel like you believe it might be impossible to heal yourself, then you need just to be more mentally disciplined. You just need more faith based mental training. You just need to get your mind purified, and then you can heal whatever it is you were told that you couldn't heal. But you do have to be mentally disciplined when it comes to healing. And then when it comes to creating, trust the idea. Trust that the idea you're coming up with to put a mental fitness gym on social media is a good idea. Trust that the steps you're taking is what you need to do, because again, it's a win-win for everyone. And it would be exactly how divinity would want you to go about it. So that's just an example. I'm using myself, but I'm saying, like, when you are in alignment with your purpose, it is God's purpose, right? So your purpose in life is God's purpose. So that was it, guys. That was the 5 universal gifts. I will see you at the gym.